Hey, thanks for checking in on Bathtub Sir and welcome back to Pyre. Now if you remember last episode we were greeted with the startling revelation that if we actually manage to make it through all these rites, we, as the reader, may not be able to return to the downside. Our freedom is not guaranteed. So that sucks quite a bit, but we decided we're going to stick with our friends and at least try and get them to safety, I guess. We also did Hedwyn's scribe trial, so that's what, 3 or 4 down now? I'm starting to lose count. But now we need to return and carry on with our journey, which involves making our way to the top of a huge snowy mountain. So we need to discuss the plan, and Volfred wishes to continue speaking with the group. Earlier, Volfred called the group for a meeting, presumably to reveal his plan in more detail. Oh yes, of course, how could I forget? Volfred is also planning to start a revolution once he and everyone else makes it back to Downside, which is pretty crazy, and wants to overthrow whoever's in charge up there or down there. I don't know quite where it is. But anyway, instead he reveals some bad news. Oh no. Wait, what are you saying? What I'm saying, my boy, is that while you can indeed get yourself out of here, it can't be all of you at once. We earn our way back one by one, or not at all. But I swore that we'd go free, together. We may go free together yet, but it's going to take time. And this is only the first phase. You, Hedwyn, and the others exchange glances. Let me make this plainer for you still. Here is how the coming days are going to unfold. First, we're going to ascend Mount Alodil, there to the north. You may not think this wagon's fit for it, though rest assured, it's made the journey many times. Next, we'll pass through Scribe's Gate. Only the worthy pass through there, as your reader can attest. If you did not merely skim that chapter of the book. Scribe's Gate, is that the place where, is it like a temple of some sort? It said the scribes themselves keep watch over Scribe's Gate. Okay, that doesn't really explain if it's a temple. It's probably more of a gate, which is a weird hunch I've got. The judgment of the scribes determines who can cross and who is sent the fast way down. Oh my god. Afterwards, we'll reach the Fall of Solium and meet our adversaries in the Rites. They are to be the Tempers, led by the demon Ignarius. You'll know him when you see him. Or is that more like Ignarius? Bloody hell, a demon, I was not expecting that. So the Tempers are a mighty triumvirate that have been the closest rival of the Nightwings. And Ignarius, he is the notorious demon leader of one of the most feared triumvirates in the Rites. Oh dear, well, we'll probably kick their ass. I mean, we've come up against some pretty tough foes. What's a demon or two? Both you and they shall choose someone from your respective ranks. Then, once one of the triumvirates prevails, there somebody will be whisked home to the Commonwealth. Wow. Oh my god. Whisked home to the Commonwealth? Precisely. Once returned, our somebody is taken in, and clothed, and fully pardoned. The Commonwealth knows about all this? The same Commonwealth that says a sentence into exile is forever, and freedom from the downside is impossible? Many of these details the scribes themselves wish to be kept secret. Former exiles and the leaders of the Commonwealth alike have good incentive to protect those secrets well. So then, that's it? We climb the mountain, someone goes back, and everyone else stays? For most of those participating in the rites, yes, that's it. But I like your connotation, and indeed for us that isn't it at all. If one of us returns, it shall just be a step along our path. However, let's let that sit for now. Gather your strength, we'll talk again on our way up. Volfred leaves the rest of you to consider what he said. You have time now for your vocations. At dawn, you shall begin your ascent of Mount Alodil. So the further we get on this journey, the more details are revealed, and it seems we may have been a little bit bamboozled here. I mean, first of all, we thought that we could come along with everyone and escape. Now it turns out only one of us is going to escape. Well, I mean, what else? I think I've got to mentor a companion. It looks like we're never going to do foraging because I don't see what it could be good for. We've all got talismans. The only thing I can imagine is that we find either a talisman or something we can sell to Ron and then equip it. I think we're doing fine as we are. So I'm going to try and boost someone's level up. However, I don't know who. God, Joe the Real, your horns are in the way. I can't see how close you are to leveling up. Rookie is a possibility, but we have mentored him once before, and I don't want to, make him teach his pet. Faye, we hardly ever use her. I mean, she'd get to 3, but she'd probably get to level 3 in the next rank anyway. Tizzo is a long way off. Thinking probably Sir Gilman. We've also done him before, haven't we? You know what? Sir Gilman, because he might not be close enough to going up another level. I think it all depends whether we choose him or not in our next rite. Oh, why not, Gilman? Let's do it. But we have done him before, haven't we? Ah, it's too late now. This knight is always keen to take even the barest scraps of wisdom, Master Reader. You and Sir Gilman spend some time reviewing some of the specific aspects of the rites, such as the properties of the aura. You sense he gained something from it. Nice. Upper level. Pretty good. Private lessons. He loves us. So grateful was this knight for such a glorious occasion that he has given some strong consideration to performing, here and now, the forbidden dance of the Sea Dominion. Oh my god. Please don't twerk. Ah, thank god. It's just an empty threat. Oh, we can't... Oh, because we haven't chose this mastery. Sorry, I had a bit of a mind lapse there. So, after using his slash, Sir Gilman can use it again to instantly return to his previous position. So like a double slash. Not bad. His armoured scales flash like lightning underneath the sea, and his travails travelled just as quickly. Or this one, Sir Gilman's slash banishes adversaries in a wider area of effect. I think this is pretty good, but then let's just see what this is again. Sir Gilman and all his allies are banished. Oh, if he shall instantly return. No, that's quite a rare occurrence for us, I believe. We're going to go for this. Double slash. This knight has no idea what the Master Reader said exactly, yet feels smarter nonetheless. Brilliant. Well, that's good. Now we can carry on and go back out. As don't forget, we've got a mountain to climb here. Continue your journey. Let's do it. So Volfred is confident that this black wagon can climb the mountain, so at least that's something. Now what paths do we take? The only one available, I guess. Right, let's do it. You're going to do some weird little jump now, Black Wagon? Yeah, there we go. Oh, wow. This is pretty trippy, this place. It's not a mounting in the sense I was expecting. Very cool, though. Very, very cool. Seems to be remains of structures here on the left-hand side. Floating rocks. Here before you lies Mount Alodial, stretching far beyond your line of sight. Somewhere upon this mountain lies the only place from which you can escape the downside. Your companions gather round again before Volfred, who stands tall as ever. Whether from the cold air or the subject now at hand, you sense a tension in the air. Now then, you all have many questions, no? I've done a lot of talking, so go on, ask away. But there is only silence. One question stands out in your mind, which you refrain from asking yet. If only one of you is to go free at first, who should it be? Go on, now. Don't be shy. Who first? Questions. Why us? Why you indeed, madam? That I can explain. You've seen the sort you stand against as adversaries in the rites. What is it they want, do you suppose? They want their freedom back, of course. They'll settle for it on the Commonwealth's own terms. They'll gain their freedom and some cushy new responsibilities. Perhaps then they'll have a hand in sending still more exiles here to join us. Think on it. The Commonwealth rose from the ashes of a fallen empire thanks to the efforts of the first exiles who escaped this place via the rites. It is the Commonwealth's first and proudest tradition to honour those ones who lived to redeem their transgressions. They have a certain wisdom, do they not? But as for you, I have been looking for a certain set of dispositions for a good length of time. All I needed was for somebody appropriate to show up and to listen. So, I planted many little eyes and ears throughout this land, whispering hints of this, absurd as it may sound. Took someone with a certain faith and creativity to go for it. That someone proved to be Hedwin over there. He was tasked with seeking 2 trustworthy allies, an old buried wagon and a reader. He was invited to bring others for the ride, all different sorts, gather enough help, and he and his friends could be free. Long story, but you know much of the rest. So then, why you? Because I've reason to believe you're not the sort to play right back into the Commonwealth's old hand. The rites, if you have seen, are quite exclusive. You are imposters in this little party. You could be the ones to break it up. Now then, more questions. Your head is beginning to spin. You can excuse yourself or keep listening. I guess we'll keep listening. It is pretty important, I must say. Your fellow exile's freedom seems to hinge on Volfred's plan. You ought to consider his every word. I agree, so who's next? Maybe Rookie? Volfred's explanations are a lot to take in, though you feel compelled to absorb as much of what he is willing to tell you at this point. He prompts for further questions when Jodariel raises her voice again. Hold. You mistook my meaning. I understand your plan. Still, I wish to know why us? Why are we, among all others, chosen for this liberation rite? And the liberation rite, on a bloodied moon at the fall of Solium, an exile from prevailing triumvirate shall go free. The anointed champion then shall plunge into the Shimmer Pool and return in glory. So this is the final rite, can you believe it? After all we've done, this is what it comes down to. Ah, I see. Well, but that is simple, really, madam. You are chosen. You are qualified, I should say. Because, as the expression goes, 'tis what the scribes ordain. Though, in this case, the expression is quite literally true. When the 8 created the rites, each one of them anointed certain other exiles to participate on their behalf. Exiles who showed some promise of redemption. The triumvirates they formed have stood the test of time, replenishing their numbers as their individuals moved on or passed on. You've met them as they are today, the accusers, the withdrawn, and so on. The 8 scribes also formed a special group, against which all the others would be judged. That group they call the Nightwings. Oh, are we the original? You bear their books, wear their masks and raiments. You need but show up to the rites you see. The others erstwhile jockey for position for a chance to take you on. Yeah, well, what if we don't? What if we don't show up? Then you would deny yourselves a chance at freedom, and deny it also to your adversaries. Victory means nothing in a common riot then. Participation is all that matters? Not so, madam. Only the enlightened may regain their freedom. While failure can be an excellent teacher, the scribes do favour the victor. So, you see, those who do not conduct the rites, or do not prevail in them sufficiently, they may find themselves barred from the liberation rites. But these are technicalities. The Nightwings disbanded years ago. Since then, no one has gone free. Yet still the other triumvirates pressed on, with fleeting hope that one day you'd be back. It's been a heavy price to pay in all of this. Now, if you'll excuse me, we'll talk again some other time. Some murmur to themselves about all this as Volfred takes his leave. Others reconnoitre pathways leading up the mountain and present you with some options. Okay, which path should we take? So that was quite an interesting tidbit let on by Volfred there. There's so much more we don't know. A little of that went over my head, I'll admit. But it's definitely, I don't know, this whole trial thing. I mean, is it more trouble than it's worth? Is the downside really that bad? Anyway, maybe that's a silly notion. Emperor's Ascent. A gap through the nameless lower summits beneath Mount Alodial. Faye believes the 8 scribes will bless whoever goes through here. Okay. And Emperor's Fall. A pathway on the outskirts of Mount Alodial's nameless lower summits. Panther expects some long-lost valuables to be stashed here. I'm going to go with Faye for once, because we did go with Panther last time. She did find us a trinket. But I want to get some blessing. Maybe raise the hope of everyone. Okay, here we go. And what do we got? Anything? The sublime beauty of Mount Alodial, along with the thin air this high above the sea, has been enough to silence even the most talkative of your companions. Rookie. However, Faye has been positively bursting with excitement. Isn't it wonderful? I think it really is, don't you? And oh, Tizzo don't like it. Tizzo seems to not share Faye's enthusiasm. He does not like the cold. Oh, Tizzo's going to lose some hope, isn't he? You've been here before, Tizzo? Isn't that so? Why would you ever leave? I wouldn't leave. I'd stay, I think. I think I'd stay. Unless maybe I got too cold. Or hungry. Wait, is that? Something about her changes then. Wait, look, Tizzo, don't you see? Look, don't you see them there? Tizzo seems to be exclaiming something in utter disbelief. Is it more of his kind? Drive imps? You yourself see nothing, but Faye rises almost off her feet as the imp looks on, astonished. Was that the scribes? It was. I know it was. They said something to me. They spoke to me. They told us we are welcome. That we're welcome here. Faye runs off to spread the word among all your companions. Strangely enough, her enthusiasm is infectious, and in spite of everything, your spirits rise. Hell yeah. +2 hope. We called that very well. Nice one, Faye. Let's journey onward. I'm very happy with that outcome. Whoa! Oh my god, is that downside? Surely not. It's like, just because it resembles a bit of a city. So Temple High Road. First the two paths leading to the mountain summit. Headwind expressed a passing whim to see the view from here. Or the Temple Cistern. Sir Gilman wishes to look upon the sacred waters here. I'm tempted to side with Headwind. I don't know if he's given us many options of travel in this game, but I mean, he's our bro through and through. Let's go with Headwind. Hopefully it works out as good as the last one and we get some more hope, because I think Jodril is still incredibly low on hope. You and Headwind walk in silence for some time as he conducts a customary survey of the area. Well, my friend? No sign of howlers, as Jody would say. No sign of anything at all. You sense something is troubling him. Oh, that... It's just... I've been giving lots of thought to everything that Volfred's told us. In another couple of days, one of us may be gone all of a sudden. Or... I don't mean to put it that way. One of us could go free. We earn our way back one by one, as he said. I want you to know something. The others and I, we talked it over, and when the time comes... Oh god, I knew this was coming. We want you to decide. Decide who gets to go, if anyone. This might all be part of Volfred's plan, but we got here thanks to you. And, even though I'm worrying right now about us splitting up, I guess if Volfred has his way, all of us will meet up on the other side. And won't that be a day? Worst case, we keep failing in the rites and be stuck down here together, just like this. And is that so bad? We're having a lot of fun. The two of you walk on in silence for a time. When at last you return to the wagon, Headwind turns to you again. Thanks for the company. I think I'm better now. Headwind feels more prepared for the next rite. Okay, so we've got to maybe take him. Hope likewise for the best. Oh nice, he actually got some XP there as well. Brilliant. And he'll get to level 4 if he plays in the next rite, I believe. Why not? We've been Team Headwind for a long time. Is this it? This must be it. Look! Look at the star in the middle. You and your companions gather at Scribe's Gate, where the single narrow trail to the summit narrows even more and falls under an archway carved of stone. Come along now, everyone, and be prepared to speak your mind when you are called. Frankly, most of you still lack enlightenment, but we may pass together, much how we act as with a single heart and mind during the rites. Oh, of course, this is when we're deemed worthy or not to pass through. Well then, lead onward, Tarek. Please, follow me. Oh, for a moment there, I thought you'd have no hair underneath the hat, but yet he's got luscious silver locks. Removing his hat, the lone minstrel approaches the gate. You and all the others follow. When the last of your companions nears the arch, you notice someone standing high above, who then appears before you. She eyes the lone minstrel first. Is that you, Tarek? It is. Greetings, Celeste. That's how you say that, right? Celeste, the gate guardian. She watches, or is it Celeste? I think it might be Celeste. She watches over Scribe's Gate and seems to be connected to the lone minstrel and the rites. Right, let's go for Celeste. And how was your rest? Too long, Celeste. It seems your work has piled up in the meantime. You bring this many to the gate? Aye. Then let us make this quick. She gestures towards the rest of you. Now, each of you, in turn, state who you are and what you seek while crossing the Scribe's Gate. Do as she says, please, without questioning. Your fellow exiles exchange glances but quickly comply. I'll start. They call me Headwind the Deserter. I've come here seeking freedom for myself and my companions. In my case, so I can return to be with the one whom I love. Headwind the Deserter, I never knew that's his full title. The woman bids him forward. The lone minstrel prompts Ruki to speak up next. They are regarded by the name of Ruki Greentail. I just want to get out of here, I guess, with my chums, preferably. Go see Mama back home. I am Captain Jodariel. I do not truly know as yet what I am seeking here. Oh, my name is Faye, and I am here, I think, because the scribes have called to me. It must be them, because if not, then who? Tizzo seeks to live up to the Nightwing's legacy and maybe see the Commonwealth someday. Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion at your service. This knight is on a quest to find his honour. He lost it at a certain point. Pamafa Thean, or Thean. I'm only here because my sister's here. Then, as Volfred steps forward, the one called Celeste raises her voice. You! I recognise you from the Nightwings of the past. You are not clad in the raiments any longer. I would know why. I had my chance already. The Nightwings that now stand before you, I travel with them as a pilgrim now. I see. Then state why you are here, as have the others. My name is Volfred Sandalwood. I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we might all stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring our freedom to the people there. She waves him by. Then she turns to you, for there is no one left to go. Oh no, state who you are to traverse the Scribe's Gate. You are just a crippled scholar. When they learned you knew the old ways, they came for you and you could not run far. You are just an old farmhand. Your youth is gone, but your thirst for knowledge earned you a trip to the downside nonetheless. You are just a war orphan. Years of strife between the Commonwealth and the Highway remnants afflicted you since birth. You do not know who you are. Try as you might, you cannot make out the details of what life was like in the Commonwealth. I mean, that last answer appeals to me quite a bit. Just not knowing who we are, because really we don't. We could roleplay here, take on the role of a crippled scholar, but we don't know who we are. We've only been left clues as to what we possibly could be. We're a reader. If that option was there, we'd tell her we was a reader. But apart from that, we're an enigma. You cannot, for the life of you, recall a time before arriving in the downside. Details of the Commonwealth are scarce within your mind. Perhaps you wanted to forget the place. The one called Celeste continues to examine you, expecting you to add your response. State also what you truly seek to traverse the Scribe's Gate. You want true freedom. That's what we said to Volfred. You want to help your friends, you want revenge, you want to see what happens. Now, do we have to stay true to what we said to Volfred? Probably. There's no reason why we would change now. We don't want revenge. We want to help our friends. I'm going to go with we want true freedom, because it is what we said earlier. We can't go changing our story now. You wish to regain your freedom, not simply to return to the Commonwealth, but to be able to live there in peace. If Volfred's plan shall bring about that peace, then you shall do your part to achieve it. The woman regards you for a time, then nods once, and waves all of you by. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome here, go forth with glory. And Tarek? I, Celeste? E? Be on your way as well. No way! Yeah, go on, Tarek! The lone minstrel bows his head and puts his hat back. He does not look back at her. Come on. So, even the lone minstrel's coming with us. Good. No one left behind. I was a bit fearful that there may have been a really awkward moment where I'd have to choose someone to stay behind, because that would suck. Right, from the top of Mount Alodial you can see the distant downside before you. You think on the many thousand leagues you cross to reach this point as the sky grows dim. Wow, commence the liberation rite. Or we could read another book, and we can also chat to someone in the wagon. And it's Jodariel. What do you want? Jodariel appears to be prepared for whatever is to come this night. Though it is not yet dark, she is already in her raiments. Hedwyn soon joins her, also looking ready. Any signs of Ruki? None as yet. Complained about a chafing at the collar of his mask. Our freedom might be hinging on that collar then. I am certain that it is. They share a laugh together. The three of you exchange glances, but nothing is said, or needs to be said. Soon, if Volfred is to be believed, one of your companions may regain his or her freedom. Hey! What did I miss? Am I late? Is it starting? Is it starting yet? Easy, Rookie. We got a little time. It isn't starting yet. How fare your struggles with your mask, Greentail? Feeling a lot better, thanks. Just had to smash it repeatedly against the wall for a little bit. Put some of the old nerves to bed. There, for good measure. Though, this is really happening, huh? One of us might be getting out of here. Like, soon. By dawn, in fact, if all goes well. If all goes well? That's one way to look at it, I guess. What are you getting at, Greentail? Well, it's just, we might be breaking up the band here, people. If one of us gets out, that's been bugging me for a while now. I thought we were all getting out of here at once. He shoots a look at you. Some of us, we might not be getting out of here at all. Hedwin slams his fist against the wall. No, not if I can help it. We made a promise to each other, each of us, the four of us. We are all getting out of here. I care about the others too, I do, but we've been here from the start. I want you to know, my promise is to you, and I believe you'll do the same for me. So, it's like this. If any one of us gets out, great, but it's just the start. We're going to do whatever it takes there, on the other side, to make it so the rest of us can get back too. What, you think they're going to build a bridge down here if we ask nice or something? I don't know what it's going to take. I just know we have to try. Joe the Real turns to you. Reader, we shall find a way. She nods to reassure you, and then reassure herself. Ruki nods his head in turn, and Hedwin's gaze never once falters. Well, my friends, I think it's just about time. Let's go. One by one they turn towards the door. The fall of Solium awaits, a vital step in your quest for freedom, yet you feel in your heart that it shall only be the first. Your three companions each gained one hope for the liberation rite. Awesome, steel yourself. So I think it's going to have to be one of them three. If we pass this liberation rite. It's got to be Hedwin, Ruki or Joe the Real. It's got to be. What's this? A river frost. So cold it can burn the skin, but keeps the wagon cool and food fresher longer. Awesome, that's good to have, I assume. And in the Book of Rites, we've got a new page, haven't we? Let's inspect this. The mercy shown. The imp Haub and I, we helped to save my emperor, and when the danger did subside, my emperor Solium he said something to me, which shook me to the essence of my being. He said, "You gave me your freedom, Master Golaffian, so that I may yet have mine. You too are now an exile in the downside. In all the days which I have left, I never could repay the mercy you have shown me. So if I cannot do so in this life, then I shall do so in the next." We crossed the land together, and together with the imp, we gained the company of those who saw in him what I did. Cool, I think. I'll be honest, why is that? I haven't took too much of this story in, I just sort of read it, you know. And I'm also wondering why there's no more pages here. We should have loads by now, but we're still only on chapter 1. Anyway, it's another page read. We have a big night ahead of us, so we're going to have to take what little rest we can before the sun sets. So if you enjoyed this episode of Pyre, please go ahead and leave a like. It helps out a great deal, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more, we're going to do the liberation rite. Everything we've been fighting for comes to this, so go ahead and subscribe and I'll bring it to you. If you've got any questions you want to raise, who do you think I shall take or I should liberate if we pass the rite? Should it be Hedwin? That's who I'm thinking, but I'm open to suggestions. Leave a comment below and I'll make sure I get back to you. Alright? See you!